Hey, St. Louis Family Martial Arts Academy. We hope you and your families are doing well. This is a big adjustment for all of us. We're used to seeing each other at the school a couple times a week, and now we're in basements like this, or garages, or backyards, or anything we can find. So we'll clearly get through this, and in the meantime, we know you're hard at work on a lot of your Taekwondo material, forms and basics, from some of the videos that have been posted over the last week or so. But many of you have put a lot of time in to your boxing and kickboxing skills over the last year or so with us. And so to the extent that you have interest, we also wanted to give you a few videos of basic and advanced drills that you can do at home, either by yourself, with your children, or with your parents, so that you can keep up on your sparring if that's something that is of interest to you. So a couple times a week, we'll put out a video that has one basic boxing or kickboxing combination and one advanced kickboxing or boxing combination. Those videos will be a minute or two at most. Today, this video will be a little bit longer because we want to go over our boxing stance with you, and also how to hold the focus pads so that we're all starting from the same spot. We've taught those things in class before, but we want to do that as a refresher. So before we throw our combinations, let's refresh our boxing stance. He and I are both right-handed fighters, so our left foot will go in front to start, our right foot and back about shoulder width apart. Start with our hands on our thighs, and then without moving our elbows, our hands come right up in front of our face. This does two things. One, this protects the fighter's rib cage by keeping his elbows in, and it also protects his head. Parents, if you're working with your children at home, please make sure they're always looking at the fighter through their gloves, but they should be always able to see the red or blue gloves in front of them. If they can't see gloves, their hands are too low. Okay? From here, we're going to turn our left and right foot slightly to the side. We're going to bend our knees. We're going to tuck our chin. And we're going to put our weight on the balls of our feet. This is our basic boxing stance. We're going to start today with the most basic boxing combination that we've taught you. It's a refresher for most of you, but we want to make sure that we get it right. This is the jab cross hook combination we work on in class all the time. When we throw our jab, our elbows start in, and our arm extends. We'll do this slowly with our fist position vertical until the very end, where it turns over and snaps. There's two reasons we like that turn. That turn generates power, and it also irritates the skin of the other fighter. So that's oftentimes when you see cuts under eyes or rashes in between rounds that fighters have that the corners are working on. A lot of that is from the friction of the gloves. So when we throw those punches, we want that friction and that snap at the end. Okay, our elbows stay in, our arm comes out in a straight line right at shoulder level, and it turns over at the end. We also probably want to add, you should add with that jab, a very small step with that front foot, and that front foot should land at the same time the jab lands, with all your weight on the ball of your foot. Right now, he and I are throwing this, and our heel shouldn't be on the ground, it's just the ball of our foot. Okay, so from our extended jab position, we're going to pull our hand back, protect our face, and we're going to throw a cross. Cross comes out similarly to jab, except it's off our backhand, and it rotates at the end with my weight on the ball of this foot and my back heel off the ground. The jab is a quick punch. It allows you to measure. It does allow you to have some impact to the person that you're fighting. The cross is more of a power punch. My right arm and left arm aren't necessarily different in power, but because I'm throwing this off of my back hand, I have the advantage of my hips. And so the power from the cross really comes from the rotation of the hips and the weight on the ball of the foot. Okay? So again, from our beginning stance, we're going to throw jab, pull it back, throw cross. We should always have our left hand in our face, protecting our face at all times. Then we're going to throw a hook. To throw a hook, we're going to bring our right hand back to our face, protect our face. We're going to raise our elbow, our left elbow. We're going to pivot on both feet and throw our hand all the way across our body to our shoulder. When you throw a hook, at least a short hook, your arm should always be at 90 degrees. We don't want to break the plane. All the power from the hook is on a tight 90-degree angle and a pivot of the hips. Okay? So again, our most basic combination, we've done it a million times. Jab, cross, hook. Okay, so parents at home, students at home, you can do this a bunch of different ways. You can do a 2-minute drill throwing that in the air. If you have a punching bag, you can throw those on the bag. A lot of you over the last year have purchased and started working with mitts, and so we're going to show that drill with mitts today. Okay, a couple of refreshers on the mitts. You want to hold the mitt at the shoulder level of the fighter that you're working with. You only want to show the fighter, can we switch sides?
Yes, sir.
You only want to show the fighter the mitt you want he or she to hit. So I don't hold two mitts up at the same time. If I want him to throw a jab, I show him the jab mitt. If I want him to throw a cross, I show him the cross mitt. He or she should always punch across their body. So his jab does not go to my right hand, his left hand goes to my left hand, so that he can get these turns and pivots with his hips and his foot position correctly. Okay? And then lastly, you never want to hold a mitt without some form of resistance. If I put it up here very lightly and he punches it and it moves back, he can fall over or he can overextend his arm. Similarly, I don't want 100% resistance because it will jam him. So it's a little bit of an art form. You should try to meet his punch with about 50% of the resistance of his punch. So when he throws a jab, it simulates hitting something without overextending or jamming. So again, jab cross punch is or jab cross hook is our combination today, our very basic combination. So we're going to show him jab. He's going to jab and pull it right back. We're going to show him cross, cross right back. The hook, don't throw the hook yet. The hook comes right off of our shoulder just like this, right on the plane of his back shoulder where he's going to land the hook, and then he throws the hook. Okay, couple times. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. Good. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. Great. You two switch for a second? Okay, so for those that want to transition to a kickboxing combination, you can use the same basic jab cross we just worked on, drop the hook and replace it with a roundhouse kick. Jab cross roundhouse kick is usually the first kickboxing combination we teach fighters from a sparring perspective, so most of you are already familiar with it. She's going to throw the same jab and cross that he did. She's going to add a roundhouse kick off the back leg instead of the hook. Okay, you get into a fighting stance, please. Now there's two ways to hold for a roundhouse kick. I can hold the pad out in front for her to throw that roundhouse kick. While that's safer for me, the pad holder, it may mess with her range a little bit because she's practicing kicking, not at the body. So if you're comfortable with this and you trust the control of the person that you're working with, what I'd like you to do after they throw jab cross is to tuck the right pad under your armpit and let him or her kick you in the armpit. So the way that will work, hands up please, she will throw her jab and pull it back, her cross and pull it back, arm goes under and she throws her roundhouse kick. Okay? For a super flexible student, if you trust their control, you can also do that at the head level. Again, jab, cross, roundhouse kick. Okay? So the combination will look like this. This will be the armpit. Ready? Jab, cross, roundhouse kick. 1, 2, 3. Good. Put your hands back up. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Good. Thank you. Okay, so I know a long video. I know we didn't do any advanced concepts today. I want everybody to get their stances and their pad holding down and try some basic combinations for a few days, and then we'll introduce some additional advanced combinations over the coming days. We miss seeing you. I know this isn't an opportune setup for any of us, but we'll get through it together. Just keep practicing. Take care.